So if you are umming and ahhing between these two shoes, you just got to think about the trade-off. So is the little bit of extra weight. So shoe comparison I've got for you guys today, we've got the ASICS Superblast 2 up against the Puma MagMax Nitro. So we're going to go through their similarities, their differences and their key features, and hopefully from that, that's going to give you guys a great indication of choosing the right shoe for you. But before we get into it, a big shout out to my #1 running store, the Running Company at Geelong. I've got a link to their website in the description. Make sure you go check out that and check out all their running gear. And also guys, if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And with our quick specs here, so both neutral running shoes, both max stack shoes, but I would say that the Superblast 2 is more in the super trainer category. I can't give that one definitely to the MagMax Nitro. Now looking at our prices here, you're going to pay a little bit more for the Superblast 2, but the big thing that's sticking out to me here is the weight. So yeah, a bit over an ounce lighter in the Superblast 2 over the MagMax. Can you feel that on the foot? Yes, you can. This one certainly feels like the much lighter shoe. Now in the stack heights, as you can see there is not much between them and the same drop. Now when you put these shoes on side by side, the MagMax Nitro actually feels like it is a little bit taller. And with the uppers here, so both these shoes use engineered mesh, however, both feel very different. So we've got a more of a traditional type upper and mesh in the MagMax. Breathability in this shoe is good, especially through the toe box. They've got some ventage at the sides as well. Really solid heel counter at the back with a little bit of play at the back. Now we've got a medium amount of padding around the heel collar. The tongue has no padding, however the tongue is the best feature on this upper. It's a stretch knit tongue, absolutely love it. It's a gusseted tongue. It does a great job just to hold that foot down. You feel nice and secure. The stretch knit tongue's also got these little holes all the way through it. So again, that doesn't feel like your foot is getting overly hot in the shoe. Standard lacing system here, pretty premium feeling laces. I've had no issues with the lockdown in this shoe. Now in the fit with this shoe, true to size. So most Pumas for me in my true to size come up a little bit too long, but that's not the case with this shoe. And also the toe box is quite generous, it's quite wide. There's a little bit of volume in it as well, so it's not that overly pointy shape that you do get with a lot of Puma shoes. Build quality in this shoe is excellent and the stepping comfort, absolutely amazing. And with the Superblast, so again, engineered mesh like I said, but this material feels thicker, it looks hotter, but it's not. So it's still quite breathable, which is really nice. Really solid heel counter here, just like the MagMax, with a little bit of play at the top. Medium amount of padding around the heel collar, just like the MagMax. Now with the tongue though, we don't have a stretch knit tongue. We've got a gusseted tongue though, and this tongue is quite thin. It's got a couple of pads on it to take the laces pressure off, but I quite like the tongue here on the Superblast. Standard lacing system. I've had no issue with these laces coming undone at all. The lockdown in this shoe, again, excellent, just like the MagMax. And the fit in this shoe is true to size, and the toe box and the volume of the toe box is quite generous as well. So I've put both these shoes on at the same time and they both have a very similar shape. They both feel like they pretty much are exactly the same size in the length and also about the same amount of volume in the toe box as well. Build quality, it's ASICS, it's always excellent. And stepping comfort is okay in this shoe, but it is not as good as the MagMax. And in our outsoles here, so two of the best outsoles on the market. We've got ASICS Grip up against Puma Grip. So in the grip department, both these two types of grip are market leaders. But the big difference is what you're going to see on the bottom of these shoes is just the amount of rubber coverage. So heaps more here on the MagMax. I think it's got a little bit too much. I don't like it when outsoles have got just one big piece of rubber because I think it constricts the midsole and sort of takes a little bit away from the ride, but obviously that it adds to durability. Now this rubber is wearing down. I've got lots of signs of wear on this rubber, but the rubber is so thick, so I don't think it's going to affect performance at all, but I'm actually surprised with how much I'm churning through the rubber. I think I got about 80, 90 Ks in this shoe, but yeah, significant rubber wear on the old Puma grip here. Now with the ASICS grip, now I've got about 140K in the Superblast, and I must say there is less rubber wearing down on this shoe over the MagMax. So probably durability wise, the ASICS grip might get the tick. But again, the rubber coverage on this, as I said, it's not just one piece. You see how it's all segmented off? And I think that just allowed the midsole to splay and lets it bounce, adds to the ride, lets it splay, lets it breathe is what I say. But overall in these outsoles, I probably prefer the outsole on the ASICS grip just over the MagMax. And in the midsoles here, so yeah, both shoes, huge slabs of foam going on here with the MagMax. Now they use the Nitro foam from Puma. There is no plate or anything in the shoe. However, the shoe's pretty rigid. So it has got a little bit of flex towards like just under the toes there, but apart from that, it's a pretty solid rigid shoe, considering it doesn't have a plate or anything in it. Geometry wise, we have got a 4-foot rocker here and it's quite nice. And I'm gonna say you can definitely feel this one. It feels a little bit aggressive, but not overly aggressive. So it still accommodates jogging the geometry in this one. Now with the Superblast, they have got dual density foam going on. So 2 types of foam. In the MagMax, it was just the 1 type of Nitro foam. In this, they've got their premium race day foam in the top layer and the foam that takes up the majority of the shoe, the FF Turbo Plus. So huge slab of that. And then under that, they've just got a really thin layer of their FF Blast Plus. Now that's the foam that they use on the Nova Blast. Now within this shoe as well, there is no plate. However, again, this is a super rigid shoe. Now this shoe is more rigid than the MagMax. So there's less flex in this shoe than the MagMax. Now geometry wise, again, we've got a little bit of a 4-foot rocker here, but it is certainly not as aggressive or not as noticeable as what it is in the MagMax. And in our rides here, so 2 very different experiences. So with the MagMax, so what you're going to get here is bounce. So that's the first word that comes to mind, and it actually says that. It's got a little bit of a hidden message here on the pull tab underneath the shoe. So it's bouncy AF, and we all know what that means. But yeah, certainly a bouncy shoe, but it's not an overly compliant foam, this Nitro, so you don't sink into it a whole lot. You sink into it just enough, and it's got quite a quick rebound. But there is certainly a fair bit of bounce in this shoe compared to the Superblast. Now, is it soft? Yes, it's soft, but it's Nitro soft. So it's not like the softness that you're going to find in fresh foam, like in a New Balance shoe. It's Nitro foam, so it's still soft to go in, but you don't go in as far, and it's a quick decompression out. Now, you can feel the rocker in this shoe. It's quite nice, and you can get on this rocker at most paces as well. So really nice to jog around in. You just hit this Nitro foam, you get a nice little bounce, it rolls you on the rocker, and you get a nice little pop off. Now, does this foam feel responsive? Well, yeah, it could feel responsive, but I think the shoe feels a little bit bulky and a little bit too beefy to sort of pick up the pace. But yeah, you feel really protected from the road, and it is a very stable ride. And most and foremost, it's a really fun ride as well. And with the Superblast 2, so the first word that comes to mind here is responsive. Now, I know that I've done comparison reviews with the Superblast 2 against other shoes that this shoe would feel more, you feel more bounce and energy return in this shoe over the other shoes that I've tested. So maybe like the Hyperion Max, that feels firmer than this one. This shoe feels like it's got more bounce than that shoe. However, in comparison to this shoe feels like it has virtually no bounce whatsoever. So yes, you do squish into this foam a little bit, but again, it's got a quick rebound like the MagMax, but you don't sink into it as far, not near as far. Yeah, so you don't get that really bouncy, energetic feeling that you do in the MagMax. But what you do get in this shoe is a super stable ride. It's a very safe ride, very stable. It's a very consistent ride as well. And I think just the overall weight of the shoe makes this shoe feel feels a lot lighter on the foot, and you feel like you can certainly pick up the pace a lot easier in it. The ride feels more traditional, so it feels less rocket as well than the MagMax. And best use for both these shoes. So both of me are excellent daily trainers. However, we've got a little bit more versatility in the Superblast 2, and that is just down to its weight. So both great for your daily miles, both great for easy runs, recovery days. So this one is going to shine. It's a bit more comfortable, a bit softer, a bit bouncier than the Superblast 2. So I prefer this one for your recovery days, but they're both great for your easy days. Now for your long runs, both excellent shoes as well. If I'm just going to go for time on feet on a long run, I'm going to go for the MagMax. But if I need to inject some pace into the long run, got some pickups, I'm going to go for the Superblast. And just wrapping it up here, so there really just is one big factor between these two shoes, and it's the weight factor. So because this one just feels so much lighter on the foot, obviously it's going to be a little bit more versatile. But in the fun department, in the comfort department, and in the ride department, the MagMax for me feels like a much more enjoyable shoe. If this shoe sheds some weight, then I'd be picking the MagMax over the Superblast pretty much any day. But however, it's not. It's a bit big and it's a bit clunky. So the Superblast has certainly got its place, and it's just so versatile. So if you are umming and ahhing between these two shoes, you just got to think about the trade-off. So is the little bit of extra weight worth the more enjoyable ride and the more bounce, the more fun, the more softness that you're going to get in the MagMax? Or do you value the weight, you really value the versatility of the shoe, then yep, Superblast is the way to go. But anyway guys, that's it from me. Keen to hear your thoughts on my comparison review between these two shoes. If I've missed anything or you've got any questions, just please drop that in the comments below. But anyway guys, thank you for watching. Make sure you give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.